What's up, guys? Welcome back to Byte Logic. Today we are going to be talking about input validation. We are going to stop users from using the wrong data types, etc. in our code. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alrighty, let's get right into it today. So, just a quick preface, if you have been following along, we're going to keep using the template that we have set. And if you have not been following along, don't worry. All of these concepts can be demonstrated without the template and they still apply. So for me, I'm going to go over here and grab my template. Let me go ahead and copy paste that into my new file here. And let's get started. So input validation. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set a variable to hold the user's input. So we're going to say global. Just a good rule of thumb is to always make things global if you're planning on using them in other functions, which we are. And we're going to set another validation variable. So we'll say validation 2. And we're going to set that equal to true. Now for this validation structure, we're going to use another while loop. So we're going to say while validation 2, and this is basically saying while validation is true. Now we're going to add in our new block of code, which is going to be the try except logic. So we're going to say try except, and var1, this is going to contain the user input, and we'll do something simple like an integer. So we'll say integer input, and then we'll say please input a random integer. Okay. Now, the important thing here is to set validation equal to false. If this all goes well, we want to break the structure and we're going to just move right along with our code because they've done what they need to do and this all went well. This is where the validation comes in. If this first block of code does not run according to plan, we're going to have an except clause in here. So we're going to say except if the first bit doesn't go as we planned, we're going to do the following. So we're going to say you did not enter an integer value. Enter an integer value. Say that 5 times fast. Okay. So now we're going to set validation equals to true again because we want to run this loop one more time. That's our validation right there. We're going to say basically try this, and if this doesn't go well, do this. And if it doesn't go well, we're going to say keep running this until it does go well. So let's go ahead and let's run this, make sure we're calling our function up here, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, and remember this is just our template, so you don't have to have this bit of code. It's just to let the user know we're starting. So we're going to start it. Please input a random integer. I'm going to say no. And it's going to say you didn't do what we said, so do it again. Right? And I can say no all day, and it's going to keep hanging up on the validation until we put in an integer. And I'm going to say like 10. Okay, so this is the end of our code right here. Do I want to continue? Yes, I can run it again. So we'll input a random integer again, 130. Right? So it only works if we input an integer. And that's basically the entire content for this video, but I'm going to add an extra function just for funsies here. So we'll say process 2. I'm very creative with my names today. And let's do some math with this one. So we're going to import our last variable. We're going to say global var1. And let's do some math. So the result of our math we're going to store in this variable, and we'll just do like a square root function. How about that? We'll do var1 times var1. So this is just going to square the value that they put in, and then we'll tell them like let's say print let's say var1. So the number that you input squared is equal to, and then we'll say result. Right? And this should work here. Let me put a little Exclamation mark, because we're excited. I'm going to go ahead and save that and run it here. So we'll start the program. Please input an integer. We'll say 13. Oh, how embarrassing. I forgot to call it. Don't be like me. We're going to say process 2. Now it'll work. So we'll go ahead and run it now. Press enter to continue. Please input an integer. So we'll say 10 so I can make sure it works here. 10 squared is equal to 100. Yay, so it works. So let's run it one more time. We'll try it with a random number. Nice. I can't tell you if that's true or not, but it looks good. So we're done here. And that is it right here. This is the validation. And this isn't something that you will always use, but it's something that's handy to have in your back pocket for when you need to make sure a user is going to input a certain data type or something like that. So just keep it in mind, and hopefully this helps you in future coding projects. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and a comment down below if you'd like to see more of this content. And as always, happy coding.